Hi everyone. Today I'm just going to take you through the very simple process of how to create a table in Microsoft Word, which you'll need to do for your first assignment for managing your studies. I'll also show you some of the basics, such as how to merge cells, how to add rows, how to color code cells, etc. So the first thing we need to do is open up our Word document, and Microsoft Word is quite an intuitive system. So just think about exactly what it is you're wanting and then follow those instructions. So in this case, I want to insert a table. Therefore, on the menu row at the top, I go to Insert, Table. Pretty straightforward. You then have this option where you can select the number of rows you want. So in the case of our weekly planner, we want 8 rows for 7 days of the week plus our time, columns, I should say. 7 columns for each day of the week plus a time column. And then as many rows as you actually want. Our table then populates into our document. And what we then want to do, and this is one of the tricks to help with merging cells or splitting cells, is when we hover our mouse anywhere over our table, you see this little cross appears in the top left-hand corner. Hover the mouse over, then click on that cross. That highlights the entire table. Hover your mouse again over the highlighted area, anywhere, and then right-click your mouse, and then scroll down to Table Properties. What you then want to do is click on the row column, or at the top of the row tab at the top of the pop-up box, and then you want to click on Specify Height. You can specify whatever height you want, but in this example I'll use 1 centimeter. We then want to change row height to exactly. And this is important when it comes to splitting cells, which I'll show you in a moment. We then press OK, and you can see how our table has changed its height. What we then want to do is, in this example, I'll populate a few of these cells just to show you what we're talking about. So in this case, we'll start our time systems on the left-hand side. And I'll just put in a couple of times just for the point of this example. Now, if you want to make your cells look a little bit tidier, because you can see here the numbers have defaulted to the top of the cell, again, if you click on that cross which highlights the entire table, and then we right-click again in the highlighted area, scroll down to Cell Alignment, and it gives you 9 options of how you can align your cells. So in this case, what I will do is choose the middle one, which left aligns each cell, but centers it, so it's an equal distance from the top and the bottom. You don't have to do that, but just makes it look a little bit tidier. Now, let's imagine that I have a class from 10 AM to 11:30. If I was to fill these 2 cells out, as they are, it would indicate a class from 10 AM till 12 PM, which isn't correct. So what I need to do is to split this cell here so that I'm able to indicate a half-hour mark there. So what we need to do is, again, you hover your mouse over that column, drag it slightly to the left, and you'll see this little right-facing arrow appear. Press your left mouse button, and that will highlight that cell. Again, over the highlighted area, right-click, and then what you do is scroll down to Split Cells. The default will be 2 columns and 1 row, but because we want to ensure we keep 1 column, but add an additional row, what we need to do is change that from 2 columns to 1 column, and from 1 row to 2 rows. Press OK, and you can see there how it has added a new row to that time section, but it hasn't changed the overall formatting of the table. What we then do is go back up, and because you want to then merge these 2 cells so that it reflects a 1.5 hour block, we then put our mouse again over the 10 AM section, drag it slightly to the left, that right-facing arrow will appear, press and hold down the left mouse button, and then scroll down to the next cell as well, so that both are highlighted. We then right click again, scroll down to merge cells. And you can see there that our cells are merged. Now we can then write in here, let's say it's a managing your study class. And we can change that font size if we want. We can then center that so it makes it a bit tidier, whatever you want to do. To color code that, again, we put the hover the mouse over that cell, which is now a single cell because we've merged it. Drag it slightly to the left till that right facing arrow appears. Left click to highlight it. And then what we want to do is we can right click to fill the cell, or if we go up to the menu bar of the Home tab, and you'll have this little paintbrush or paint tin icon. If you click on the arrow there, it'll drop down and give you a variety of colours to fill. That's what the paint can represents. So if we just pick a nice sort of olive green colour, and then we have colour coded that particular block. If I want to add some additional rows to my table, very simple to do. Go to the very edge of the row, where you'll see this slightly larger right-facing arrow appear. Click that and it will highlight the entire row. Again, hover the mouse over that highlighted area, right-click, insert rows. And you can do this either above or below, wherever you want to put it. In this case, I'll insert a row above, which means above the row I've just highlighted. And it has inserted a row. Very straightforward. Similarly, to delete a row, you again highlight that row, right click, scroll down to delete row.